Hey guys, welcome back to the mat. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be doing primarily a lower body, legs, and glutes workout. I do have some ankle weights that I'm going to strap on, but do not feel like you need weights. If you don't have any, that's fine. If you start out with weights and you decide that you don't like them and you don't want to do that anymore, that's totally fine too. We'll also be using this for a little bit of an arm section in the middle. Again, if you don't have weights, it's not a big deal. Or if you want to just grab them only for the arm section, that's fine too. So let me strap these bad boys on and we'll get started. Alrighty. We got one, and honestly, even for me, we'll see if I use our little ankly weights the whole time. I'm working with a little bit of hip stuff, so if it starts to be a bit much, I'm just gonna take them off. We're gonna get started on our hands and knees facing either side of your mat. I'm just gonna face this way because it's a little bit easier for me. We're gonna be in the tabletop position, so hands and shoulders are going to be in line with one another. Feet are out behind you. We're going to take our, whichever leg is closest, I'm using my right leg, straight out behind us. We're just gonna lift, lower, lift, lower. The intention here is keeping our hips straight and stable, so we're not lifting and lowering or like doing anything like this. We're keeping our back stable. We're keeping our hips stable. I'm gonna go from the floor, just maybe a little bit above hip height. So nothing crazy. Got a little hair in my mouth. Let's do a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it in. Now we're gonna go into rainbow. So we're gonna extend our leg again, straighten it out. I'm gonna tap to the outside edge of my mat, cross to the other outside edge. Out, out. Maybe your range of motion is small and you're just like straight and like right next to your foot. Either one is totally fine. Your range of motion will obviously change with whether or not you have weights, what time of the day it is, your strength level, all of that. Doing a few more rainbows. Going up and over is a big thing. Even if you're not doing a big range of motion, you're not just sliding your leg on the ground. You're really going up, down, up, down, up, down. This will help us work into our glute and our hamstring. A few more here. Man, I'm already getting a little shaky. Coming back in. Let's do a quick cat-cow. Round that back, cause like spooky Halloween cats. Readjust yourself if you've come undone at all. Now we're gonna raise our leg again, but keeping a bent knee this time. We're gonna try and get our sole of the foot pointing up towards the sky, and our thigh is gonna try and be parallel with the ground. Right here. We're just gonna kick up, down. Tiny little pulses here. Really working into that glute. Again, keeping our hips nice and stable. Whether or not you have weights, this is a workout. So again, if weights are getting to be too much, feel free to calm them down. Come back in. We're gonna keep that same bent leg, but now we're going out to the side into fire hydrant. So pretending like we're a little dog peeing on a fire hydrant. I wish I had better imagery for that, but I don't. So that's what we got. There we go, see? Coming out to the side, just like a little dog. And just coming out to the side, and this is working our outer glutes. We wanna make sure that we're trying to keep that 90-degree angle at our knee so we're not bending in or straightening out, because that is what we're really working through here. I feel like this is the hardest one to stabilize in the hips. Oh. You're probably also feeling it a bit in your core and your obliques. Come back together. And sit back, shake out your wrist if you need to. I know mine are getting a little bit tight. We're gonna come straight back. And we're gonna straighten our leg again, and we're going out, back in. Out, again, trying to keep our hips as stable as possible. Out, in. This is a pretty small motion. I'm maybe going out like 3 inches from my midline and just coming straight back. If I go any further, that's really when I start losing the integrity of my hips. Do a few more here. Out, in, out, in. And you should really feel in your obliques as you stabilize. We're gonna do 3 more here. 2, 1, back, down. Oof. All right, so I'm gonna just take off my little ankle weights because I'm gonna use them, oops, we're gonna use them for some arm stuff. So I'm just gonna come crisscross seated. I'm just gonna loop these together so they're a little bit easier to hold, but if you just have hand weights, like normal hand weight dumbbells that you'd rather be using, totally fine too. All right, we're gonna get started here with hug a tree as it's done in Pilates. So I'm gonna have my palms facing down, holding my weights. My elbows are a little bit higher than my wrists, and I'm just coming in, going back out, in, out. Really think about initiating this movement from like underneath your armpits. And we're not going all the way wide out here. Let me show you like from the side. I'm only coming this far. So I'm like still in my periphery. I'm not coming like way back here. So that's working into the front of a shoulder in the way that we don't necessarily want to. So we're just doing a little movement, almost as if our fingertips are drawing a straight line together and apart, but they're still in that straight line. Let's do 2 more. 1, 2. Take a quick rest. From here, we're gonna go into shaving. So we're gonna take our hands, put our weights together above our head, and we're doing like a tricep dip almost. You can keep your weights together. If you're not using any weights at all, you're gonna put your fingers together in like a triangle, and you're just going down, up. Almost like you're shaving the back of your head, or you're shaving straight to your forehead. So you go straight to the back of my head. And I'm slightly angled forward. You can see here from the side. I'm angled slightly forward, so I'm not going like straight up and down like this. We're going out at an angle. All right, let's do some one arm. So I'm gonna put a weight down. I'm gonna keep my other weight. Hand's just gonna be in your lap if you want to. We're going up, shaving down, up, shaving down. We're just gonna do 5 of these. 3, 4, 5. Switch arms, so my other hand, and I'll switch back around so you guys can see. Arm up, just to the back of my head. If that's too much, again, go to the top of your head, go to your forehead. 3, 4, 5. Nice. All right, coming back to center. I'm grabbing my weights again, and here palms are facing each other, elbows are in at our side. We're going up, down. We're just doing 5 of these as well. 2, 3, 4. You can see I wanted to get it over with as fast as you did. 5. Now we're gonna go into bicep curls. These are a tough little combo, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna get through it fast. So our arms are straight in front of us. We're bending at the elbows, so 90 degree. Opening to the side like goalpost, coming back to center, coming back to our starting position, trying to keep our shoulders down our back and not scrunching them up here. That's 2, 3, 4. Last one, like I said, we're just doing 5 of each. 5. Nice. Okay, let's do ankle weights back on so we can do the other side for our legs. I'm pretty sure these ankle weights are as old as I am. These are my mom's from like way back in the day. I had her send them to me a couple of years ago. And yeah, I'm fairly sure that these ankle weights are easily from the early 90s, if not older, which I think is actually kind of cool. They're vintage. All right, so we're back to hands and knees. I am doing my left leg now. I started with my right leg, and we are just going to straighten our leg, what we talked about, and we're going up and down, trying to keep our hips as stable as possible, making sure that our shoulders are stacked over our wrist to make sure that we're not hurting anything. Ooh, this is definitely my weaker side, I feel like. Do you guys feel a weaker side for you? All right, one more. 1, 2. Okay, I lied, 2 more because I can't count, so you know we're okay. From here, we're gonna extend that leg out again, and we're going to those rainbows. So arching up and over. Remember, the emphasis is on the up, not how far to the side you're going. If you can go outside your mat, all the way up, all the way to the outside of the other side, that's great. I'm not even making it all the way over when I cross behind myself, so do what feels best for you and your body, even if that's just up and down like 1 inch away from each other. Keeping that core locked in tight. I felt mine starting to give. So it's just as much of a core workout, honestly, even though we said that it was legs. One more to the inside, one more to the outside, come back in. All right, now we're going into those pulse kick ups. So remember, we're keeping our knee at a 90-degree angle as we lift up. And we're just pulsing up, down, up, down. Thinking about keeping your weight distributed evenly in your hands to protect your wrist. And I have the inside of my elbows, like my elbow crease, is facing forward to really open up my shoulders. Ooh, all right, come back in. We're gonna go out to the side for those fire hydrants. So again, keeping that 90-degree angle, lift and lower. Trying to keep your opposite hip, your stabilizing hip, as strong and solid as possible. There we go. We're just going straight out to the side, and back in, side, in, last one, and in. Sit back, roll out your wrists if you need to. You can also like double up your mat here. If this isn't giving you enough cushioning, feel free to double up your mat to give yourself a bit more padding. Same goes for your knees. If this is sensitive for your knees, you can double up the mat back here as well. All right, our last little leggy bit. Leg is straight, we're opening the side, back in, side, in. This is the one where we're feeling a lot of oblique action. And honestly, my left side is so hard to stabilize here, but Pilates is really all about that stability and that balance and being able to move your body parts independently of one another, honestly. Making sure that you have control over your body as opposed to your body having control over you. Let's do one more. Back to the midline, back down. All right, we're all done with our legs and our arms, but we still have a little bit of core work to finish things off. So let's flip on over. Take off your ankle weights. You're not gonna need those anymore. I'm just gonna toss these to the side. I'm gonna roll on back, bringing my knees, ooh, let me fix my hair. Bringing my knees into my chest. We're gonna put them in a tabletop position so our knees are bent at a 90-degree angle and our shins are parallel to the floor and the ceiling. We're gonna roll up and we're gonna go into our hundreds. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you're rounding up, think about rounding almost over the bottom of your sports bra if you have one on. I think that's the best way to think about creating the right angle in your upper body. And if you want to add a little bit of spiciness, you can extend your legs up to a 90-degree angle or bring them down to the angle that feels best for you. I'm going to leave mine in because those ankle weights got me, y'all. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Roll up a little bit higher, higher, highest. Hold, hold, hold for 3, 2, 1. Down. Hug your knees into your chest. Straighten your right leg up to the ceiling, left leg long, parallel to the floor. Round yourself back up. We're gonna pull, pull, switch. Pull, 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 pull. Light, gentle pull. We're not yanking our leg out of the socket, but we're making sure that we're getting a little bit of stretch through the back of that hamstring because they were working really hard earlier. We want to make sure that we're giving them some love. All right, one more each leg. Come back in, do another little hug. From here we're going, and this will be our last exercise, I promise you. Both legs up, hands behind your head as you lift your head, neck, and shoulders. We're gonna lower and lift. Lower and lift. Thinking about almost curling up more as your legs come in. 4. We're doing 8 of these. This is 5, 6, 7. Exhale as you come in. 8, hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. Great work, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat. I hope that you enjoyed what we did here. If you didn't use leg weights this time, maybe one day you'll be able to graduate to weights. If you did use weights, maybe try it without weights and see how it feels. All right, catch you guys next time. Bye.